I don't have a mic, so I have to wait for everybody
Tinha
to
na
come
parte
in.
da central, só a parte 50%, né, basicamente, a parte inferior.
Not that old yet.
Yes, I am.
Guys, so there's two departments up here. You have one department which is in the room over there. Don't really have to show it. But that department over there, we call it texture department. The ladies over there, all they do, every day, all day, is touch the leaves and resort. What does that mean? As a farmer, I grab tobacco from the bottom of the plant, it's volado, then seco, visus, ligero. And I am a human, the people that work with me are humans, we make mistakes. Maybe the tobacco wasn't harvested at the right time, maybe they mixed it with another one. The most important thing when you make a cigar is to maintain the strength level of that cigar the same. The little nuances, this cigar is a little bit sweet, floral. This cigar is a little bit sweet, more like a fruit. That's very personal, you know? And you hear all these adjectives and these terms, and nobody can really agree on something. I think one of the most famous ones was that one of our cigars had poultry-like meatiness. That means it tasted like chicken. Yeah. So now the joke is we put bacon in all of our cigars because everything tastes better with bacon. We have the king of bacon right here with us. But after they do the texture department, they do it by texture, meaning the thicker ones are higher up in the plant, the thinner ones are lower in the plant. They do not do it by color. So they will open it up, make sure it's in the right level, and then they will come here. And here, this department, all they do is take out about 1/3 of the stem, of the center vein. If you look closely in their hands, they have a knife where they can make an incision with their fingers and rip out the center vein. Show us. Show you. Alex.
Ah, okay.
They literally have a knife.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
So, no more questions. That's for you. So, they'll make an incision and tear out about half to about 40% of that vein. Another subject that is very sentimental, emotional to me.
Wow.
And they take out a vein out of the center of the cigar and they destroy the cigar and they tell me, your Davidoff cigar is bad, it has a vein in it. And I'm like, that's supposed to be there. You know, I'm sorry, but that's supposed to be there. Veins, that section of the vein is not the most thick part, and it's actually good for the construction and integrity of the body of the cigar. So those veins are good. The only cigars that don't have veins are short-filled cigars, which are made with very small pieces of tobacco. And sometimes big cigars like that, they tend to be too soft because they don't have the veins. And sometimes to make those cigars stronger, they'll do like a double binder, or they will put a reinforcement of one full leaf inside to make that integrity. The vein helps for that integrity of that cigar. The other thing that they're doing here is that you'll see that they're also sorting it by size. So terminology in cigars and tobacco is kind of weird. Ligero means light, but it's the strongest tobacco. Here by sizes, catorcena, quincena, dieciséisena, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 is actually a smaller leaf than 13. Everything is backwards. It's traditions to when people were buying and selling tobacco to trick the buyers, you know. And even today, when we go and we buy tobacco from other companies, we play around and we'll talk backwards. So, for example, we say, "Oh, this tobacco is noble," which means bueno because backwards, you know. But we can actually have full-on conversations with my father backwards, which is pretty cool. And those are traditions that we keep still. After this, sorted by size, devein, we can put this tobacco back into aging, or it can be ready in the factory 2 or 3 months down the road, depending if the factory needs it. So for those of you guys that tomorrow will be at the factory, you will see this tobacco already deveined in the factory. Binder and wrapper gets deveined either by hand or a machine. So it's not a machine, it's a apparatus that is worked with your hands and your feet. It's still considered handmade. And that's the only thing that has a machine in the whole process, because it is just a much more clean cut. And you might see this tomorrow. Okay? So hopefully if we walk back to the cantina, they are ready for us so we can drink and smoke cigars. Cool? Okay. Yeah.
Is anything done with the veins after?
We can sell this as scrap to chewing tobacco companies, different things. We don't waste anything.
Aqui se chama los parrilleros de la parrilla, como se fosse uma churrascaria, é um churrasco, parrilleros, para liberar um pouquinho do amônio, fica 6 horas a 12, depende de cada fábrica, mas para deixar ela mais solta, liberando amônio todo o processo.